President Akufo-Addo has assured that government has not abandoned plans to have metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives elected, insisting it is working towards that agenda. In a speech read on his behalf at Thursday's inauguration of the Ayawaso West Municipal Assembly, the president also called for an end to agitations over the siting of district capitals, which he said should cease, cautioning that such confrontations tended to derail government's decentralization efforts. The Ayawaso municipality is one of 38 new MMDAs inaugurated across Ghana, with a number of them elevated from district to municipality status. There's more in this report.
The last few months have seen some agitations and confrontations in parts of the country, with assembly members protesting against some of the president's appointees at the local level. In districts such as Mpoho in the Western Region, Bilsa North, Itiwa West and Jomoro, members of the governing New Patriotic Party objected to some of the president's appointees. More recently, there have been standoffs in parts of the Ashanti, Central and Upper West regions over the siting of some of the district capitals. Attorney General and Minister of Justice Gloria Akufo, who read the president's speech, warned the agitations have not been helpful in the decentralization drive.
We should endeavor to make the decentralization agenda work by minimizing agitations on the siting of district capitals, election of presiding members, appointment of government nominees, chief executives, and provision of critical facilities in the parts of the communities. It is my greatest pleasure, on behalf of the President, Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to declare Ayawaso West Municipal Assembly duly inaugurated.
The newly created assemblies are also being urged to make prudent use of resources allotted them.
While the government is spearheading the efforts of accelerating and sustaining decentralization, I entreat all of you as stakeholders to be focused, committed, and pursue the agenda of development with one purpose. I am determined to fully meet the constitutional imperative to ensure the accountability of local government authorities. People, in particular local government areas, shall, as far as practicable, be afforded the opportunity to participate effectively in their governance.
Member of Parliament for the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency, Emmanuel Tremantinge Jaco, pledged his collaboration. Sanitation is top on the agenda.
If we find a right person, a capable person, a knowledgeable person, a person with foresight, together with assembly men and women and the public servants, I have no doubt that we will turn the fortunes, and together with myself as a member of Parliament, we will turn the fortunes of this community and improve on things like sanitation. It is important.
Speaking at the event, traditional authorities at Laboaleshi appealed to the president to quickly develop government-acquired lands which have been earmarked for developmental projects. Secretary of the Council, Samuel Kotayoko, bemoaned their practice where some government lands are being developed by private individuals.
Another area we want to draw your attention to, which we may need your support, is the protection of government lands. We are aware that various executive instruments, i.e., have been used to acquire lands from the traditional authorities for public use. Unfortunately, greater portion of the lands have been allocated to private developers with the support of Lands Commission. There are a number of lands that have been walled and earmarked for private use. We are prepared to assist the present government to acquire these lands for an assembly complex, to house all the centralized departments and units of the assembly. We can also make mention of the vast stretch of land between Okponglo and UPSA Junction, and wish to state that it could be used for the siting of second cycle institutions and other facilities that will serve the interests of the people in the municipality.
Members of the assembly say they are looking forward to the president's appointment of the MCE to set the municipality's agenda rolling.
And already, government says its flagship programs such as the Planting for Food and Jobs, the One Village, One Dam initiative, and 1 million per constituency, among others, could only become successful in the long to medium terms if metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across Ghana played their key roles effectively in government's agenda to revitalize the economy and also revamp social infrastructure to transform agriculture and industry. Deputy Minister of Energy, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, who read a speech on the behalf of the President at the inauguration of the Sanerigu District Assembly into a municipal status, called on MMDAs to play their roles effectively. Hashmin Mohammed has more in this report.
Inauguration of the Sanerigu District Assembly into a municipal status brought together traditional rulers, assembly members and political parties in the municipality. In an inaugural address by the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, read by the Deputy Minister for Energy, Dr. Mohammed Amin Anta, called on metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in the country to play their respective roles effectively to help government achieve its flagship program.
To formally declare the Sanerigu Municipal Assembly duly inaugurated. In the short to medium term, will be successful if the Assembly play their respective roles in our agenda to revitalize the economy, revamp economic and social infrastructure, transform agriculture and industry, provide social development, reform the delivery of institutions of governance, and leveraging on science, technology, and innovation for development.
Municipal Chief Executive for Sanerigu, Mariam Fuseni, said with the elevation of the district into a municipal assembly, the time has come to aggressively tackle the myriad of challenges in the area.
Municipality is still encountered with various challenges. These include lack of a district hospital, or I might say a municipal hospital, poor road network. Now, Chairman, the road leading to the municipal capital is evidence of our road problems. And
Paramount Chief of Sanerigu, Na Yakubu Abdullahi, said the Sanerigu Traditional Council will continue to support the Assembly in its quest to improve on its revenue mobilization for development.
To protect the environment and also their initiatives for revenue mobilization to make the municipality aware of its new status. To start with, I call on all staff, assembly persons and residents of the municipality and other stakeholders as may apply to cease fire in their various agitations and give the assembly a chance to settle down to work and equitably, I stress equitably, spread development and peace within its jurisdiction.
Deputy Local Government Minister Collins Intim, who also inaugurated the East Mamprusi district into a municipal status, said Parliament will soon consider new formula for the allocation of the District Assembly Common Fund to take care of the district that has attained new municipal status.
Your status has changed, and it comes with additional resources. In just next week, we are going to consider the formula for the allocation of resources. What you are receiving next week is going to double.
In Nanton, Minister in charge of Business Development Ibrahim Mohamed Awal also inaugurated the Nanton district, a new district carved out of the Saviligo Nanton municipality. In all, 2 new districts were inaugurated, Nanton and Yunyo, with 6 other districts elevated into a municipal status. They include Gushegu, Nanumba North, and West Mamprusi, among others. Reporting for Joy News, Hashmin Mohammed.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways, Anthony Akufo-Addo, has called on the people of the new Laura municipality to work together, irrespective of their political affiliations. He asked the people to always remember that the municipality belongs to all, irrespective of their political affiliation or differences, adding its success or failures were their collective responsibility. Anthony Akufo-Addo made the call at Laura during the inauguration of the new municipality, which has been elevated from a district status. JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam now reports.
The Lara district is the second oldest in the northern part of the country after the Gambaga district. Established 111 years ago, Nandom, Lambusi, Jiruba and Sisala West and East districts used to be part of it. Paramount Chief of the Lara traditional area, Napowele Kabo III, did not mince words on the excitement of his people after several failed attempts to elevate the district to the status of a municipality.
The journey to this occasion, which we are about to witness today, has been long and full of many failed promises and unfulfilled hopes and aspirations. Since the creation of Lara as a district by the colonial administration in 1907 to today. As a municipal assembly, we would be required to provide and maintain a higher level of services than before, be it in education, health, road infrastructure, security, and other social services.
Then came the moment the people have been waiting for, the announcement from President Akufo-Addo on the elevation of Lara to the status of a municipality. It was done on his behalf by the Interior Minister, Ambrose P. Derry.
It is my greatest pleasure to declare Lara Municipal Assembly duly inaugurated. I wish you well. Your success will make Ghana great and strong and create, quote, an optimistic, self-confident, and prosperous nation through the creative exploitation of our human and natural resources and operating within the democratic, open, and fair society in which mutual trust and economic opportunities exist for all.
For Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways, Antonio Inyo Abeifakabo, who also doubles as the Member of Parliament of the area, the elevation of the district to the status of a municipality is a campaign promise fulfilled.
Let us continue to work together irrespective of our political affiliations and our political differences. We must always remember that Lara belongs to all of us. Her failures are our collective failures. Her successes are our collective success.
Lara Municipal Chief Executive Martin Bombe-Ere spoke of the benefit the people will derive from their new status.
It means improvement in our infrastructure, such as roads, electrification, and reduction in poverty, improvement in our living conditions, and our educational standards.
Similar inaugural ceremonies were also at Tumu and Jiruba. Acting Upper West Regional Minister Amidu Chinia Isaku, on behalf of President Akufo-Addo, inaugurated the Jiruba municipality, which has also been elevated from district status.
On behalf of the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of Ghana, to declare Jirapa Municipal Assembly duly inaugurated.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam, Lara.
Well, hundreds of kilometers away down south to the capital, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Osei-Wusu, has been speaking on the status of the Right to Information Bill, which is yet to be passed. He says measures are in place to ensure the speedy passage of the RTI bill when placed before Parliament.
Parliament has always been committed to. We work through procedures. In 2000, and as at the close of 2016, we had practically finished. But you know, we work with time. Once the time elapsed, we had to come and start afresh. So as soon as this is brought back, I'm sure we will have no difficulty because a lot of the work had been done. The original bill was just like the right was for government and he's giving you a small thing. So we rewrote the bill to make it show clearly that the right belonged to Ghanaians and that there are restrictions only for safety and so on. So that is why we took so long. But I tell you, as soon as it comes back, we'll work with speed to ensure that it is passed.
And speaking to JoyNews on the sidelines of the business conference organized, the first Deputy Speaker says he will stand by his shoot-to-kill comment, which apparently has sparked a nationwide condemnation. He says he is unfazed by criticisms following his comments because illegal miners ought to be treated like criminals.
Declined from saying anything beyond what I said in Parliament. But let me repeat it. For those who destroy the water bodies, they are no worse than armed robbers.
And just on the sidelines of Parliament, there was a lot of sex talk in Parliament when proceedings were in session on Thursday, with members especially worried about the increasing cases of teenage pregnancy. Not that Member of Parliament Joycelyn Tete first raised the issue on the floor because the phenomenon was particularly worrying in her constituency. For her, teenage mothers, apart from being at a greater risk of maternal mortality as their bodies are not well developed and mature to accommodate a baby, they are often compelled to drop out of school, worsening their plight even more. Her statement then opened the floor for contributions from other members, with the member from Efutu, Alexander Apenyumakin, making some very bold suggestions, including advising young girls to study their menstrual cycle and have sex only during the safe periods. That is, if they need to engage in any intercourse at all.
My view is that under the guise of religion, we shy away from educating our girls on issues of sex. But that is wrong. At age 12, these days, because of the food they eat, around 10, 11, they go through that transition. So, Speaker, I don't want to express my own fears. So, Speaker, I have some at home, and suddenly they are growing. And the transition has been too fast. But that is the trend. We must educate them and let them know that you must not have sex. These are the consequences. However, Mr. Speaker, we must equally tell them that if you want to do it, protect yourself. Insist. Let the man use condom.
Now, it sparked a lot of interesting follow-up debates as well, and James Kluche-Avaji, his colleague from Ketu North, thought the proposal was outrageous and demanded a retraction, but the Efutu MP would not budge.
After the 5-day cycle, which is the ovulation period, if they do it, they will get pregnant. So they should not do it within that period, which means that outside that cycle, they can do it. I mean, I want you to correct that one. They should completely tell them not to do it. Mr. Speaker, I do not belong to the idealist class. I do not belong to that group. I'm not an idealist. I'm a realist. I am educating the younger ones that if they want to do it, they should do it in their safe period. I'm saying it without missing words. Because you can't stop them. You must not pretend that you can stop them. Don't pretend. In so saying, it is not to undermine our religious values. Mr. Speaker, that is the reality. So if you want to have sex when you have your safe period. Or use condom if you are not sure. That is what they must be told. That is proper sex education. Not the one funny, pretending and not telling them the truth.
Meanwhile, the Member of Parliament for Clotekoli, Dr. Zaneto Rawlings, is of the view that men who impregnate teenagers should be made to face the full rigors of the law.
I think that it's important that perhaps some of the laws are looked at once again. And regarding enforcement, we cannot overemphasize the importance of the enforcement of these laws. As one of the honorable members made in his contribution as well, was the fact that this issue of dealing with this issues of defilement, sexual abuse, and statutory rape in the household or on the quiet is part of the reason that this cycle is being perpetuated, and it needs to be brought to a stop. And I think that from within this house, we can all be perhaps advocates of making sure that the law actually works in favor of our young females.
And the debate in Parliament seemed to have broached a subject that the typical Ghanaian parent will rather avoid: sex education and how to approach it. So most parents now never had any sex talk about how they need to have sex with their parents, and find the subject of sex a taboo and one that they cannot discuss with their children, only to be surprised later about how much their children actually know, or worse yet, when they find out that they are actually sexually active. So we went out to have a conversation with some adolescents about sex and how much education they have had on the subject.
Sex is when two individuals, a male and a female, come together and agree to have sexual intercourse.
I know that sex is between two adults that are married, because it's in the Bible that only two people can have sex.
Sex was designed by God for two adults in order for birth to occur.
How did you get to know about sex?
It was taught in school. My dad taught me, and also my teachers.
I want you to be very blunt with me as possible.
No.
You've never had sex? Have you ever?
No.
Have you ever had sex?
No.
No.
In school, we were taught that when you have sex at this age, the lady you have sex with might get pregnant, and then it may cause a lot of issues. She might drop out of school, and then it may cause so many problems for both families. And
I have a plan for my life, and I don't want anything to interrupt it. I can become a dropout, and therefore I want to be able to achieve my aim. So there's no way I want to have sex so that it will act as an interruption to my education.
It's for two adults, and I'm too young to have sex at this age.
So apart from school, that you had sex education, where else do you want to have sex education?
The house.
In the house.
With my parents.
What do you want them to tell you about sex? Are you not? Do you feel shy when they're talking to you about sex?
No, because it's a normal thing every parent has to teach their children.
So when do you intend having sex?
When I'm grown and married.
When you are grown and married.
Yes.
And you? The same thing. When I'm grown and married.
Oh, okay. So when were you exposed to the knowledge of sex?
When I was about 11 years.
11 years?
Yeah.
When I was about 12.
About 11 years.
Oh, I don't know the age. I knew sex from childhood. I was counseled about sex from childhood.
When childhood means what age? At what age?
Maybe let me say the maximum is 8 years, because I was being told that no, don't, this thing is not good for you, because
Interesting. And we also spoke with some parents about sex education for their children, if they've had that conversation at all, or whether that conversation should happen in the first place.
I would be worried if my daughter engaged in sexual activities at a teenage age. I'll be very worried.
Why would you be worried?
Oh, I believe that is not the right time for teenage girls to engage in such acts. That will make me worry.
Yes, I do.
Why would you be worried?
Because that can lead into having pregnancy when she's not ripe for that pregnancy. At least she should complete her school, and she should be working. And then when having pregnancy, she will be able to care for the child.
I'll be very worried if those are the early stages of their teens indulging sex. But now we know that at 17, 18, 19, many of them are in tertiary level. And there I wouldn't be worried so much, because at that level, by the education, they know and understand whatever they do.
So as a father, what would you be doing about it if you hear that your child, your 17-year-old or 18-year-old child is pregnant?
17 years at the tertiary level understands the negative effects of pregnancy at that age. So there I know at that stage it won't be a worry to me, because she herself understands what she's doing.
Do you educate them on sex?
Yes, I do.
How often do you do it?
Well, at least once a while we sit down to discuss about the sex, that problems that they face at school. At times, peers can be discussing about sex. And if I don't educate my child about sex, the peers will educate them.
Yes, I do. As a female teacher, I even talk to my students about sex. And I advise them to stay away from early sex, okay? Because I don't think they are ready for it now. And the dangers involved in having early sex, it will be too much on them.
My biological children, I would say I do it indirectly. Indirectly because they are fortunate to have a mother who is also a teacher. So as parents, we discuss, but I hand over such responsibility to the mother.
Why do you hand responsibility to them?
All my children are girls, and they are closer to their mother. They understand their mother. Their mother also have a lot of discussions with them. So I think it would be more appropriate as a woman to directly discuss those issues with. But when there are problems, she comes back to me as a father and we talk about it. But directly, she's in charge. Indirectly, I discuss it.